Hello and welcome to today's edition of Catholic Focus. It's always a great pleasure to have you with us. Thank you for choosing Capuchin TV. My name is Deborah Mani and our sign language interpreter is Charity Ngima. Welcome. The Catholic Archbishop of Nairobi is Grace Philippa Anyolo has condemned the violence and lawlessness witnessed during protests in the city following the killing of Albert Ojwang. The Archbishop is urging Kenyans to remain calm and prayerful and has called for special prayers and mercies for peace and justice in the country. Our reporter Susan Bulemi has more details and caution some of the images could be disturbing.
In a statement released this morning, Archbishop Anyolo expressed deep sorrow over incidents of violence and lawlessness that rocked Nairobi on Tuesday. He singled out the unchecked activities of armed gangs who robbed and assaulted innocent citizens and point-blank shooting of a non-violent protester in broad daylight.
We are especially saddened by two things. One, the point-blank shooting of a non-violent citizen who seemed to be just an innocent Kenyan in the city. Two, the free operation of groups of people, goons, with the poles robbing and beating up citizens, destroying properties and businesses in the eyes and without interference by security agencies.
The Archbishop is now appealing to all Kenyans, especially the youth, to remain calm and to respond to social injustices with responsibility, guided by faith and hope in God. To this end, he has called on Catholics across the Archdiocese and beyond to hold a 3-day Rosary Marathon, praying for respect for human life, restoration of law and order, comfort for grieving families, and wisdom for the nation's leaders.
To pray for those who have lost their lives and their families, and even for those who have lost their livelihoods. To pray for our leaders, that God may touch their hearts and give them wisdom to realize the havoc they are causing to the country.
Archbishop Anyolo also urged priests to dedicate masses starting this Sunday, the feast of Corpus Christi, to these intentions and to continue invoking God's mercy on the country.
On Sunday, which is the feast of the Corpus Christi in the Catholic faith, and the following days we request priests to celebrate masses with the above intentions and continue to invoke God's mercy upon our country.
He concluded by reminding Kenyans not to be careless with life and dignity and not to be reckless with their words, urging everyone to stand for peace and truth even in difficult times. Reporting for Catholic Focus, my name is Susan Bulemi.
The Diocese of Embu Bishop, Right Reverend Peter Kimani, has urged Kenyans to shun divisions driven by ethnicity and politics, emphasizing that true unity inspired by Holy Trinity is vital for national cohesion and Christian living. The bishop spoke during a confirmation mass at Holy Trinity, Kanyuambora, Beere North constituency, where he also called on Christians to be guided by the Holy Spirit and to work together in their families, church groups, and the wider community. The bishop further urged Christians to embrace love and forgiveness as the foundation of strong families and peaceful communities. He called on parents to guide their children in faith and so they may grow according to God's will and ultimately inherit the kingdom of heaven.
Unity and in communion, katika ushirikiano na umoja tutaweza kuishi pamoja. Na hivyo basi tuweze kuomba Mungu siku hii ya leo Utatu huu Mtakatifu uweze kuteremka na kuingia hasa katika pia vile vile taifa letu, ili tuweze kuishi kwa njia ambayo ni ya umoja, njia ambayo ni ya ushirikiano, tusitenganishwe ama kuweza kuwekwa katika mipaka ya ukabila, mipaka labda hata kama ni ya vyama vya kisiasa, mipaka vya milengo ya aina yoyote, lakini tuweze kuwa na ushirikiano. Unaweza kustahimili changamoto za maisha zikija. Matatizo kidogo yakija nyumbani, usitoe vita. Matatizo kidogo yakija nyumbani, usitukanane. Funga mdomo, ambia Mungu, Mungu nifundishe kufanya nini? Nifundishe kunyamaza, nifundishe kuwa na akili timamu, nifundishe kulegea maneno ambayo yanayoleta amani, ukizisimamia. Na ndiposa tunaambiwa ya kwamba tuweze kusimama katika imara katika nini? Katika imani. Kuwa imara katika matatizo na katika mambo yote. Pesa zimekosekana, amani imekosekana, simama imara, usitetemeshwe na mambo madogo madogo. Sisi ambao tumepewa Roho Mtakatifu, we are stronger than the troubles and the challenges that we face. Ukiwa katika nyumba, sema all the time, I am stronger than what I am facing.
And speaking in a different event, Bishop Kimani underscored the importance of unity within church groups and the Catholic Women Association, describing the CWI uniform as a symbol of mission and self-discipline. During CWI Members' Day celebration held at Maria Consolata Riamurai Parish, Bishop Kimani commissioned at least 150 women and urged Christians to boldly live out their faith through prayer, moral discipline, and public witness. He also called for greater attention to the boiled child, cautioning that the risks being left behind if not supported adequately.
Na ndiposa Kristo anatuelezea katika somo letu la Injili ya kwamba lazima tuweze kuwa watu wa kusema ukweli. Watu wa kusema nini? Ukweli, kwa sababu mara nyingi tunadanganyana sana. Mtu anaapa yale ambaye ameapa, lakini hata yatimiza. We are living in a world where truth is becoming so scarce and so little, from our news, from our leaders, from our families. Unakuta nyumbani uongo mwingi, jamii uongo mwingi, uongozini uongo mwingi, mpaka unaweza kushindwa kwani huu ukweli na uongo tofauti iko wapi? Na ndio maana Kristo anatuelezea katika somo letu la leo la Injili ya kwamba wakati ambapo tunapokula kiapo, tuacheni ndio yetu ikue ndio na sio yetu isikuwe si ndima, kwa sababu huwa tunadanganyana sana. Na ndio maana Kristo anatuambia tuwe wamama wa ukweli. WA, simamia na ukweli huo. Usiwe umevaa nguo ndani nje, lakini kumbe ndani hakuna nini? Hakuna UCWA ndani yake. Uwe ni Mkatoliki, Mkristo mwema, unaonekana kwa nje, lakini kwa ndani hauko katika imani ile. Tunaweza kuwa tunavurutwa ama tunavutwa na mambo ambayo hayafai na hayaingiani na imani yetu. Tunaingia mambo ya usherati, tunaingia mambo ya uganga, tunaingia mambo ya hasira na kufikiriana maovu, tunaingia na mambo ambayo yanaweza kuwa ya kusengenyana katika maishani mwetu. Tunaambiwa ya kwamba kile ambacho tulichokiapa, mimi kama askofu, mapadre, sisi kama Wakristo, ile imani tuliyoiapa wacheni ikue ndio na ndio. Na kile
And now moving on to other news, youth leaders across Kenya are once again speaking out, this time over what they describe as continued exclusion from top government appointments. They've set June 25th as National Day of Protest, citing broken promises and rising frustrations among young people. Asasha Elizabeth has this report.
They form the largest demographic in the country, are highly educated and brimming with ideas, yet many say they are nowhere near the table where decisions are made. Student leaders drawn from various universities across the country are now demanding deliberate inclusion of youth in high-level government roles, including cabinet appointments. They argue that without representation, the issues affecting the youth will remain unaddressed.
The youths are underrepresented in the government. We only have one cabinet secretary in the government, and who is the CS Water by the name Eric Mureithi. And as we know, our CS, our Jinzi CS is overworking. So we feel like we are underrepresented, and yet we are the majority.
Led by the Kenya University Students' Organization's president Glenn Karani, the youth leaders are accusing the government of ignoring its promise of forming an inclusive government. They say the frustrations that sparked last year's Gen Z-led youth protests still remain, and unless addressed, more unrest could follow.
For the young people, you can see we are around half of the voters in the country. If you are given 50% of the cabinet, we can deliver more. Yes, you will not see these issues of somebody is killed, you are given that docket of Ministry of Interior. We can deliver better.
Nafasi ni nyingi katika nchi yetu, na pia katika katiba kunasemekana ya kwamba kunafaa kuwe na usawa katika ugawanyaji wa rasilimali, na nafasi za kazi ni part of the rasilimali za nchi. Kwa hivyo tungesema na tungeomba katika nyadhifa zile ziko pale juu kabisa, ambazo tunaziita ile meza kubwa, tuwe na vijana wengi, kwa sababu tumeona kijana mwenzetu waziri wa maji bwana Eric Mureithi ameweza kutekeleza kufanya kazi na ni mchapakazi. Kwa hivyo huyu ni mfano bora kwa nchi, kuonyesha kwamba vijana sisi tunaweza na tuko na ujuzi na taaluma mbalimbali, na tusipopata hizi nafasi itabidi tuchukue hizi nafasi kwa lazima tukisonga mbele, kwa sababu hii nchi ni yetu.
The students are also condemning what they term as escalating cases of police brutality, calling for accountability from top security officials. The latest case fueling national fury is the brutal killing of 31-year-old teacher Albert Ojwang, who died in police custody. His death has sparked national fury, with widespread demonstrations and growing calls for June 25th to be officially designated as a National Day of Remembrance. In a bold move, the student leaders are calling for the resignation of the Deputy Inspector General Eliud Lagat, who recently stepped aside to allow investigations into the killing of Albert Ojwang, blaming him for the continued police brutality witnessed in recent months.
As our young man is busy sleeping in the freeze, I want to tell the president this one. The DIG should resign, not step aside. We want him to take the big fish and leave alone the small men who are just given instruction to do things. And this one must just come to him. We are giving him 24 hours to resign, not even step aside. Resign and leave that office immediately.
As the countdown to June 25th begins, the youth are reminding the government that inclusion is not a favor, but a right. Asasha Elizabeth, reporting for the Catholic Focus, Capuchin TV, Nairobi.
And on a related news, Kenyans have condemned the incident in which a police officer was seen shooting a masked vendor who appeared to be standing by, possibly picking a shield from streets that had turned chaotic during the demonstrations yesterday. They are urging the government to uphold the sanctity of life and to ensure that disciplinary action is taken against the officer involved. Many now stress that peaceful demonstrations is a constitutional right and insist that the police have one clear responsibility to protect Kenyans who are exercising that right without violence.
Maandamano inasaidia mahali serikali inaenda vibaya, wananchi tunajua askari mwenye alimshuti kimakosa angemshuti, angemwendea na amshike ajue shida iko wapi.
Kufanya maandamano si mbaya, but inalingana ile vile unafanya. So kama ukipata watu wameenda maandamano, wape ile kitu yenye wanataka. So usianze kufanya vitu zingine huku na huku nini. Kama mtu amekuja kusema ako na shida fulani, msaidieni hiyo shida, si kuanza tena kumdhulumu tena. Amekuja kwa maandamano, polisi ndio wanatuwekea security, but ikifika pale mahali wanaanza kushutu watu ni vibaya.
Sababu kulingana na vile tuko saa Kenya hatuna opposition. Sasa hawa na Gen Z wanatusaidia upande wa opposition kukosoa hiyo serikali, na baadaye inaweza rekebika na tukapata ile kitu mzuri tunataka. Haijanifurahisha sababu ukiangalia ule kijana alikuwa biashara yake akitafutia familia yake, na huyo askari yeye naye sasa hakuwa na sababu yoyote ya kumshuti. Kwa hivyo sasa huyo askari achukuliwe hatua yenye inafaa kisheria. Serikali inafaa idhibiti maaskari, sababu kuandamana ni haki ya kila Mkenya kisheria.
Crossing county borders to Busia County, where the county of Busia has taken a major step toward protecting children's rights with the official launch of its 2025 children policy. The policy seeks to address rising cases of child abuse, including defilement and other rights violations in the border county. Our reporter Lilian Kimandi dived into the launch event at Busende Primary School in Matayos constituency and has filed the following report.
In efforts to protect and defend the rights of children living in border areas, the Busia County government has officially launched its 2025 children's policy. The launch took place at Busende Primary School and was led by the county government officials, child rights stakeholders, and community organizations. Douglas Okiring, the county executive committee member for finance in Busia County, explained that the policy aims to establish strong strategies to address cases of violence, sexual abuse, and child exploitation. He emphasized that it is the responsibility of everyone in the community to protect children's rights.
But also to launch the Busia County Child Policy, a key milestone in our journey to uplift our lives of our children and secure their rights, safety, and future. The theme for this year's celebration, Planning and Budgeting for Children's Rights and Progress since 2010, is a timely reminder that our commitment must be more than words. It must be felt in our budgets, seen in our programs, and experienced by every child in every ward of this county.
The Chief Magistrate of the Busia Law Courts, Edna Nyaloti, stressed that successful implementation of the policy requires proper structures and collaboration among all relevant stakeholders to ensure that children directly benefit from it.
Been pushing the civil society to come up with the children's policy, and I'm happy that it's there today, but having the policy is not enough. That policy must be implemented. So the county government and the partners who are present here, we hope that we are going to have a roadmap and action plan on how this policy is going to be implemented. Busia has very many challenges affecting children. Children are sexually abused, children are abused physically.
Her remarks were echoed by Mary McHoa from the Rural Economic Enhancement Program, who noted that while the policy has good content, its success will depend on practical implementation by the community, parents, and child officers.
We have pushed and we have the policies. Today we are launching another policy, and thank you, the county government of Busia, for passing these policies. But let us talk about implementation. Let us talk about implementation. These policies are not for just keeping on the shelves. They should be implemented. And then the courts, please,
Currently, the Busia community is hopeful that the policy will serve as a shield to protect children from the challenges they face and as a foundation for a generation that enjoys rights and safety. Reporting for Catholic Focus, my name is Lilian Kimanthi.
As the sun rises, so do we, as we trust it to rise and set without any worries interrupting your day. StarTime's home solar solution with solar panels, hybrid inverter, and lithium battery, powering your prosperity and happier life, empowering you to do the things that really matter. A complete and reliable home solar solution. Call us today. StarTime Solar. Power your life.
We are a top-tier chartered private international university. We shape minds, nurture leaders, and produce innovative and marketable graduates. We are the Catholic University of Eastern Africa, and your future begins here.
Kwale University is one of the best universities in Kenya and even in Mpesa region and beyond. Therefore, I invite all those who are listening to me to have an option for Kwale University for the young ones, especially those who are seeking for education, both in various areas of specialization.
Step into a world of endless possibilities with our diverse programs in law, business, science, education, health sciences, theology, arts and social sciences, regional integration, justice and peace, canon law, and more. At Kwale, we consecrate them in the truth, equipping students with knowledge, integrity, and excellence to transform society.
Consecrating them in the truth means it is only the truth that will set you free. Thus says our Lord Jesus Christ. So when you stand by the truth, you become credible. A person that people can depend on, a person that people can trust. And that is what we want. We want to produce lawyers who can be forthright, who can be trusted. We want to promote teachers who are truthful in their dealings and account for what they have qualified in. So all the sectors of education, we want to consecrate them to the truth so that They earn what they'll be certified in as they graduate and stand for the truth. We want to promote politicians of quality who have a strong ethical living and responsiveness in the creation of the wealth of the country in truth and justice, so that in return they can redistribute it and enhance the lives of all the people.
Join our vibrant academic community driven by values, knowledge, and success. Admissions for May intake are ongoing. To enroll, contact our admissions office on 0709 691 072 or 0709 691 073 or send an email to admissions@quer.edu. Your journey to greatness starts now. The Catholic University of Eastern Africa, transforming lives through quality education.
Welcome back to this edition of the Catholic Focus. Moving on to Kakamega County, where trouble is brewing in the county after more than 40 bags of fertilizer meant for vulnerable farmers were discovered hidden in a private home. The incident has raised serious questions about accountability in the county's agriculture docket. Our reporter David Kiprotich has more details.
A consignment of hope turned scandal. Over 40 bags of fertilizer earmarked for unprivileged farmers in Kakamega County have been recovered hidden in a resident's home. The bags, allegedly siphoned off from county stores, were traced and seized by security officers from Makunga Police Station in a dramatic raid that has now put senior county officials on the spot. Shinoi Shikomari, member of County Assembly Boniface Sakosi, is demanding answers.
Kwanza kabisa nataka nimwombe waziri wa kilimo kaunti ya Kakamega. Ni makosa na ni hatia kubwa sana yeye kupeana mbolea kwa sehemu chache na kuacha zingine mingi. Mbolea ya kaunti kama tunapeana, tunastahili kupeana kwa kila mtu wakati mmoja. Lakini hii mbolea top dressing imekuja wakapatia kaunti wards kidogo, wards mingi baada hazijapeanwa. Jambo la kushtua kabisa ni wakati tumesikia habari kuwa mbolea imeshikwa na iko polisi Makunga. Sisi kama MCAs, kama wananchi wa Kakamega, tunauliza inakuwaje mbolea haijafikia wananchi wote, lakini mbolea imewekwa kwa nyumba za watu binafsi hadi inashikwa, inaibwa usiku na raia, alafu inapatikana kwenye polisi.
At the center of the controversy is Agriculture CEC Moffat Mandela, who is accused of hoarding the fertilizer even after the planting season had ended. Nominated member of County Assembly Scholastica Ngina Shiraku echoed the call for transparency, questioning how one individual could access such a large quantity of government supplies.
Wanakamati wa agriculture, tunaomba, not hata kuomba, tunaitisha mkutano wa dharura, muambie wabunge wenzenyu nini kilifanyika na mbona mtu mmoja anapatikana na mbolea nyingi kama hiyo. Wenzangu wale wameteuliwa ni wachache walipata, wengine hawakupata. Inakuwaje mtu mmoja anapata hiyo yote?
In a phone interview, CC Mandela defended himself, saying the fertilizer had been allocated to his mother to distribute to persons with disabilities in Navakolo constituency. But with the bag stashed away in a private residence and questions mounting, the explanation has done little to quell the public outrage.
Wakati unamuuliza anasema hii iligewa mama yake ni kiwete. Hakuna shida. Waziri wangapi wana mama? Viwete wangapi wako na bakolo? Mbona wakachagua tu mama ya waziri? Mbona hawakuchagua mama ya mtu mwingine agawe mbolea?
Sasa hiyo ni mambo executive wanastahili kujibu. Sisi kama county assembly ya Kakamega tulifanya bajeti ya mwaka jana, pesa zilikuja zote na zikatolewa zikaenda kulipa yule supplier wa mwaka jana. Mwaka huu kama wajalipwa, supplier wa mwaka huu anaweza kuwa hajalipwa, manake wamefanya procurement mwaka huu na mwaka wa serikali bado hujafungwa. So kama ni mbolea ya mwaka huu hiyo itaeleweka. Lakini kama ni wa mwaka jana, lazima tuulize maswali kwa wale wahusika. Ikuweje bajeti tulipeana, fedha zilitolewa na wananchi ama supplier aseme kuwa hajalipwa? Hayo ndio baadhi ya maswali tunauliza kule executive, watupee majibu, na wasipotupea majibu watu watuamini kuwa hivi karibuni wataanza kuona tukienda na mmoja baada ya mwingine.
As pressure mounts on Governor Fernandez Barasa's administration to act, affected farmers are left wondering whether help will ever reach those who need it most.
Tungependa tupate mwongozo kutoka kwa watu watatu. Kamati inayosimamia kilimo kwenye bunge la Kakamega. Mimi ni changamoto kwao, lazima tupee wananchi wa Kakamega ripoti kamili, hiyo mbolea ilifanyikaje ndikapatikana kwenye polisi Makunga. Jambo la pili, waziri lazima tuambie mbona akachagua sehemu kupeana mbolea na akaacha sehemu zingine. Mimi nilisoma katiba na katiba ya Kenya ikuruhusu popote ubaguzi wa aina yoyote. Mwisho kabisa, lazima gavana wa Kakamega ajitoze kwa hii maneno, ajitoe, atuambie ni nini anajua kuhusu hii mbolea na mbona wamenyamaza hadi wa leo. Kama alishiriki na hakushiriki, tungependa kuona action kutokea kwake, manake ni wale maafisa wako chini yake wamehusika na hii sakata.
Whether this is a case of miscommunication or outright misappropriation, one thing is clear: the integrity of Kakamega's agricultural support program is now under scrutiny. Reporting for Catholic Focus, my name is Kiprotich David.
And with that report, just a kind reminder that everyone should bear responsibility for their own actions. And that brings us to the end of our today's edition of Catholic Focus. Special thanks to the entire team that coordinated this bulletin, and to you, our viewers, for choosing Capuchin TV. Sitting in for Maureen Kimani, my name is Deborah Mwania, and our sign language interpreter has been Charity Ngima. Be blessed.
You are watching Capuchin TV. For any complaints, comments, or compliments on our programming, you can either write to us on info@capuchintv.co.ke, or you can call us directly on 0717 424 866. Your complaint shall be addressed within 7 days. Remember to keep a copy of your communication with us. Keep watching Capuchin TV, your Catholic identity. Capuchin TV, we approve the following message.
Munaangalianga Capuchin TV? Munaipenda? So hii Capuchin TV ndio Capuchin. Nimeona TV nyingi ulimwengu, lakini hii ndio bora zaidi. Sawa sawa? Ziko TV nyingi, lakini TV zingine ukiziangalia haupati amani, kwa sababu unasikia huyu amekufa huko, huyu ametukana huyu, sijui uchumi imekuwa mbaya, sijui nini. Lakini ukienda Capuchin TV unapewa nyimbo safi, unapewa mahubiri mazuri, unapewa neno la Mungu. Kwa hivyo nawahimiza sote tuangalie Capuchin TV na msupport Capuchin TV. Sawa sawa? Kwa sababu hii sio TV ya biashara. Hii ni TV ya kueneza neno la Mungu Kwa hivyo tuisupport, kama ni shilingi moja unawasupport na kwa Paybill, alafu kazi yao itaendelea vizuri. Tuko pamoja.
Tuendelee kufanya kazi. Paybill number 510678, account name capstv.
Endeleeni kutazama Capuchin TV, kitambulisho chetu Katoliki.
Kama ulivyowekewa nyota za angani, ninaomba Bwana uyajaze baraka maisha yangu. Rehema zinitiririkie, rehema zinitiririkie. Naomba furaha yako Bwana, naomba faraja yako Bwana. Ninaomba Bwana uyajaze baraka maisha yangu.
The Catholic Men Association CMA of the Catholic Diocese of Nairobi is a fraternity of dedicated men committed to living out their faith through service to God, the Church and the society.
In the Archdiocese of Nairobi, we as the Catholic Men Association are in line with the principles of CMA in the national level. We normally call it the CMWK, which means Catholic Men Association in Kenya. And our main objective is to start with the principles of the Church, to teach starting from our families, to live the gospel values in our families, the Church and the society. And through this, we have coined a motto of good family, good church and good society.
Over the years, the CMA has made a remarkable impact on our communities. Their initiatives like Beacon Boys program have empowered young men with mentorship, life skills and spiritual guidance, shaping them into future leaders and responsible citizens.
Other than that program, we have the SDP program. It's a program which is aimed at empowering men, and it is structured around the circle, as if it's a circle, where men save together and then they can be able to borrow and primarily save for the future and be able to support each other to grow financially and in other social aspects.
The CMA is embarking on an even greater mission, St. Joseph Technical Institute Kamulu, a center dedicated to education, skills training, and spiritual development.
It is a project that is aimed at empowering young people in education, in technical education, and for them to be productive in our nation.
And with the blessings of the Archbishop of Nairobi, His Eminence John Cardinal Njue, and we are very grateful to the support that we have received even after that from his successors. The project entails an institute, a technical institute for both boys and girls who have completed their O-level examinations. Up to now, we have spent around 145 million. Phase 1 is going to cost 200 million. In between, we had borrowed a small loan from CARITAS, so the total balance that we are waiting for is about 75 to 80 million shillings.
I am appealing to all men, those who are registered and those who are not registered. It can facilitate us to accomplish this noble project so that we can have the admission of those young ladies and men so that they can be formed technically to be responsible Kenyans and also Christians in our respective parishes and churches.
To channel your contribution, please use the details below. Paybill number 589733, account name, your parish, or through CARITAS Bank, CMA Archdiocese of Nairobi Technical College Project, account number 1003022000284.
So when we appeal to all men in the Archdiocese of Nairobi and beyond to continue supporting the strength of the Church, starting with the family, the Church and the society, we are not bringing across something that is new. We want to line with what God has seen in men, because as men, God has a mission that He can only accomplish through us. So through the CMA, let us reach out to all the men in the Archdiocese of Nairobi and beyond, and to others who belong to groups of men in other denominations and other churches. May you continue being those pillars in the society, those pillars in the family, and those pillars in the church, so that what was handed over to us, we as men can still hand over to the young generations for the good of the future.
Kama ulivyo wingi wa nyota za angani, ninaomba Bwana uyajaze baraka maisha yangu. Rehema zinitiririkie, rehema zinitiririkie. Naomba furaha yako Bwana, naomba faraja yako Bwana. Ninaomba Bwana uyajaze baraka maisha yangu.